Welcome to Between the Shelves, the premier Save a Library podcast. I am your host, Alex, and today we're celebrating National Puzzle Day by talking about some of our favorite puzzles and puzzle games. And to do that with me today, I have Evan joining us from Children's.
Hey, guys.
And Steph, Head of Adult Services.
Hello.
Welcome.
Happy to be here.
Thank you for coming on. I know this is not a holiday that it's first to everyone's mind, but January is Puzzle Month, I found out. And January 29th is Puzzle Day. Do you know why? I did a little bit of research. I didn't use ChatGPT, Evan.
Is this a puzzle?
Yeah, this is not a riddle.
Okay.
So it got started in 2002 because a woman named Jody Jill, who has a very interesting background herself, she was giving away puzzles in a magazine for teachers. And she was getting so many requests for her puzzles because they were so popular that she said, you know what, I just can't do this anymore. I'm getting overwhelmed. So I'm just going to release all my puzzles one day a year on my birthday, which is January 29th.
Wow.
So happy birthday to Jody Jill.
That is like a story you could have never guessed. That's the origin of Puzzle Day. I love it.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be like a mathematical reason or something.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Like a palindrome or something.
That would have been a good one. Yeah, like Pi Day is March 14th.
Just a teacher.
I don't think she even is a teacher. She's just an avid puzzle maker.
Amazing.
So let's get started. So how do you celebrate Puzzle Day every year?
One could say every day is Puzzle Day.
I celebrate privately.
So let's try to, before we start talking about some of our favorite puzzles and puzzle games, how do you even define a puzzle? It's just such an amorphous term. Like how do you constitute, what is a puzzle versus what is a game? Or
I think a lot of people, at least I do, immediately think of a jigsaw puzzle as if someone says, "Oh, I'm doing a puzzle." Yeah. I would think you're doing a jigsaw puzzle of some sort.
100% agree.
Not necessarily, I'm doing a crossword puzzle, because if you're doing a crossword puzzle, you'd usually say, I'm doing the crossword puzzle, it's a specific kind. So when I looked up what are the other types of puzzles, not just jigsaw, so many different types come up, like math, riddles, words, all these games we play that are also puzzles.
Nice. That's a great way of putting it.
I agree. It's if you know that weird language quirk where you would say a word twice, the same word twice, a puzzle would be an actual jigsaw puzzle in my mind. Instead of, a crossword puzzle, that's the clarifying word. So
interesting. Yeah. It is funny, if you Google search puzzle, jigsaw is the first thing that pops up.
Yes.
So I do have a little line here that says, puzzles are games. They test ingenuity, thought pattern recognition, spatial reasoning, or problem solving, or sometimes more than one at a time.
Is that the Webster's dictionary definition?
That was, I don't know, something.
It's comprehensive.
Something I got on the internet.
I found...
I did not write the citation.
I found a definition myself that I really liked. And this definition I found in the book that I brought in for this episode, which you can see, obviously, my guests, but listeners... There's a book that I read a few years ago called The Puzzler, One Man's Quest to Solve the Most Baffling Puzzles Ever, From Crosswords to Jigsaws to the Meaning of Life, by A.J. Jacobs. A.J. Jacobs wrote, I guess his most famous book was A Year of Living Biblically. I can't talk today. It's not good for a podcast. Which he spent an entire year living in the clothes and by the rules that are explicitly written in the Bible. And I think it might have even got a spin-off documentary too. In any case, The Puzzler's a really great book. A.J. Jacobs basically breaks the book down into about 15 chapters or so, and each chapter is a different type of puzzle. So he talks a little bit about the history of the puzzle, and then he talks to, I'm using air quotes, an expert in that puzzle field. So it's either the world record holder for Rubik's Cubes, or in the Jigsaw puzzle chapter, he goes to the international Jigsaw competition. And he actually enters himself as Team America because America didn't have a team. So
really?
it's actually him, his wife, and his two kids are America, our Team America. And I think they come in 49th place, very poor. But
that feels like such an oversight for our competitive like country as a whole.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we are typically represented can't talk today either. We are typically represented in all of these competition things, and it was just like, oh yeah, we don't have a puzzle team? I guess so.
Nope.
Weird.
The Puzzler is a great read. We have it here at the library. It's definitely worth checking out if you are puzzle-minded, like puzzles. It's very, very interesting. Lots of cool tidbits there. They do like an interview with the guy, like on the Rubik's Cube chapter. There's a guy who's like the world's best Rubik's Cube puzzle solver, and he's like a prodigy. Like he was at 12 years old. He was like doing them speed competitions and had world records and stuff.
While we're on it, have you guys ever solved a Rubik's Cube?
I've done 2 sides. That's the farthest I've got. No. I never learned the algorithm,
Yeah, I think it's an algorithm.
I never tried. I'm not really. That's not the type I'm into.
That's fair. It's one of those things. I haven't either. I've never solved one. I can get one side the same color, and then I'm like, well, I gotta mess this up if I want to get the other side.
1/6 of a genius.
I'd probably just use it as a fidget, honestly.
Yeah,
same.
But in any case, I mean, talk about geniuses. There's a 30 by 30 Rubik's Cube. It's a 33 by 33, I think. So imagine a Rubik's Cube, but with 33 by 33 on each side, and he solves that. It's like insane.
That's bonkers.
Any case, it's a really fun book. There's lots of weird stuff like that in there.
I think isn't there a definition from the book you were going to read?
Yes. So in the book, the first chapter kind of talks about like puzzles, why we like puzzles, and why people have been doing puzzles for hundreds of years and everything. And he says, his definition for a puzzle he gets from a Japanese puzzle maker named Maki Kaji, who, when asked what is a puzzle, responded with 3 characters: a question mark, and then an arrow pointing to an exclamation point. So basically, he's trying to say like a puzzle is the epiphany. I think like the epiphany is like the essential part of a puzzle. It's like you are given a question, like a mystery, you have an epiphany, and it's solved. Like that's like the core aspect of a puzzle, I think.
That's pretty interesting.
I like that definition. That's very cute. The question mark and the exclamation.
Question mark, arrow to exclamation point.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
But like, I mean, in that chapter, we'll get again. I promise I'll get into our favorites in just a second. But like, they talk about like some of the benefits of puzzles. It's like a mental exercise. It helps you train your creativity or logical thinking. And then there's like the focus aspect of it, or just quieting your mind, where you're just cutting out all the noise and just focusing on one thing. And then there's like community aspects too, like jigsaw puzzles you can do with people. Wordle, another very popular puzzle game. There's like a community aspect to that, where like even though you're doing it yourself, you can talk about like, oh, how did you get the Wordle today? It's like there's the communal aspect with that. And then, I mean, there are competitive puzzlers too. So I used to do Tetris competitively with my friends, and we'd check our scores and everything. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really cool. So I don't know.
I totally didn't have Tetris written down here. Yeah.
I thought that one was just too obvious to put down, so I didn't. But yeah, I guess that's my preface is done for what is a puzzle and all that. Do you have anything to add before we jump into our favorite puzzles?
I had the same sort of question when doing the research for this for this podcast, because I'm like, what am I counting as a puzzle? So I ended up like, when I did my initial list, there was like, I mean, this is a callback, but there was a lot of question marks. I'm like, this question mark, is it a puzzle? I don't know, but I feel like ultimately, if you're solving something, then it's a puzzle. If there's a mystery you're trying to solve, that's a puzzle.
Yeah.
I also didn't consider right off the bat, until I was researching it, that there's like games we play on our phones, like video games, are also puzzles. I was thinking very like, you're doing a paper crossword, you're doing a physical jigsaw puzzle, so it kind of had to like think a little bit outside the box and be like, oh, these games that I play are also puzzles. They're just in digital form on a phone or a tablet or something.
Yeah. Well, most of the things I'm talking about today are video games, so I'm glad.
You don't say, Alex.
Yeah,
you like video games? You just want every episode to be about video games.
They don't have any puzzle movies yet, so.
They sure do.
Inception is sort of like a puzzle game, a movie, quiz show. I can't. That's all I got.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's more.
There's got to be some.
Saw. But we did a whole Saw episode. All right, so let's get into it. Should I just start off?
Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
go.
So I had, like you were saying, Evan, like I had like a whole list of like puzzle games, and I had to I couldn't talk about 20 games today. It would just, we'd be here forever. So I had to like really think about paring it down. Like, like chess, for instance. Like chess, is it a puzzle? It's more of it leaned more into being a game than a puzzle. Now, there are chess puzzles.
Yes, there are.
Which I used to do all the time, which are fantastic. They're their own unique kind of puzzle. So I did have to grapple this down, but I did narrow it down to about 4 games I'm going to talk about.
Awesome.
And the first one is a mobile game called The Room. Have either of you played The Room?
The Room? No, I have not.
So it was an early mobile game. I think it came out in 2012. So smartphones were relatively new. Like the app stores were, there's probably like only a few dozen apps available.
Yes.
But I remember when this one came out specifically because I was such a quote unquote like hardcore console gamer that I was like, I poo-pooed immediately any like mobile games. I was like, those are not games.
They're
like,
inferior to any sort
Exactly.
of console or PC game.
And
Mobile games, yeah.
The Room, when it came out, was the first game to change my mind on that. It was very, very like a high polished game. It didn't look like Flappy Bird or something. It was like, it looked like as good as something you would play on like the Xbox or PlayStation that was out at the time. So basically, it's a puzzle box game, essentially. So in The Room, you're manipulating a giant puzzle box, and there's all interconnecting pieces, and you're solving little tiny puzzles on this box that would unlock another portion of the box, and so on and so forth. And eventually, as you're going, you'll get to like the end piece that will unlock the next puzzle box. And I think there's only like 3 or 4 puzzle boxes in the first game. It's kind of set in this like early 19th century or early 1900s. What's that? 20th century.
Yeah.
Kind of like dark English sort of like parlor room. So it kind of has like Myst vibes a little bit, which is like a lot of the games I'm going to mention were influenced by Myst. But it's like, it has this very cool like steampunky almost aesthetic where it's like kind of like a dark, smoky, kind of creepy atmosphere. It's like photorealistic, like it looked fantastic at the time, and I'm sure it still holds up today. But when it came out, it was like definitely regarded as like a higher tier game. Like it won a BAFTA for its design.
Really?
It won the Game Developers Conference Mobile Game of the Year, which was like still a new thing.
This was in like how long ago?
2012.
2012.
Now I think they've made like 5 or 6 games since, and I've only played the first 2.
Okay.
They're both excellent. Yeah, so like, I don't know, it's just a really, really fun game. You can still get them now. But yeah, I mean, there's technically a story, but it's kind of buried in like notes and things you find. So it's not essential at all. You can kind of just do the puzzle boxes and keep it at that.
Is it kind of like, is it a point and click type of game?
Not really. It's the whole game, like your whole screen is just looking at that box.
Just a straight up puzzle box that you're spinning around and you're looking.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're poking, you're prodding, you're zooming, you're spinning.
I like the like quote unquote simplicity of that, where this is just what the game is. You're not like going from like, there is something to be said about those games where you're going from room to room and you're like figuring things out and collecting clues, but something that that the game is just right here in front of you and you're just trying to solve it. I like those games.
Exactly. So that's my first recommendation, The Room series, I guess. And I guess they had a PC port as well. You can technically play it on a computer. I think it's even available on Steam if you're a PC gamer, but mobile was the way I played it, and it's still there.
Awesome.
So check it out.
Cool. The Room.
Sounds cool.
Steph, you want to go next?
Mine is the most opposite of a video game. The straight up jigsaw puzzle is my favorite
Classic.
type of puzzle.
Love it.
My preferred ones are 1,000-piece puzzles.
Okay.
Takes me usually a couple of days to do if I have really nothing to do. Otherwise, it could a couple of weeks at the most where you're just hopping in and like doing a few at a time. But I kind of like to start them on like, a snow day or a day where I have nothing really to do and I'm stuck at home and I could just sit there, put on an audiobook, do the puzzle for like 2 hours or so and just like relax. My favorite types, subcategory of Jigsaw would be like a collage style, because I find that my brain it's like putting together a bunch of little puzzles within the puzzle, little pictures within the puzzle, and I can do that quicker than I could like a landscape or something. And so I have a lot of those collage type puzzles that I put together during COVID. I did quite a few puzzles. And then I also like to find ones that we have several at, in our office around the library where we find puzzles. The theme is something we all enjoy, like Star Wars or computer history. We have one, and
I've seen that puzzle in the office. Yeah.
So after we put the puzzle together, we glue it and frame it, and then hang it up, and it becomes a piece of art for us to all enjoy.
Yeah.
So I have a couple ones that I've done at my house that I just liked it so much. It became.
I love my Return of the Jedi holographic. What is it, like 300-piece puzzle that's hung right behind my desk? I love it.
Yeah, that wasn't a very big one, but that was a hard one because it was so dark and sparkly.
Does that holographic, like, how does that affect
shiny?
you?
Yeah, it was not easy to put together because, it was very dark colors and then you'd have like metallic-y things running through it, and the pieces were kind of weird shape.
It was old too. Like you could tell it had been put together and disassembled many times.
The puzzles that we've done here for the library that we've hung in the offices were all puzzles we found on our puzzle swap shelf. Someone dropped them off. They sat for a while, and we were like, "Hey, these are pretty cool. What if we put together this really old computer history of the computer puzzle from like the 80s?" And then glue it and hang it in tech services. So that's something we did. The Star Wars one we found on the puzzle shelf.
Can't believe somebody would give that up.
Right? And it was we do them not knowing if they were complete or not, because they came open box.
Yeah.
You're really taking a chance.
You have to hold your breath.
We lucked out both times that they were complete. So
I have jigsaw puzzles on here as well. I love doing jigsaw puzzles. Do you guys have specific strategies that you use? Like, what does your jigsaw puzzle process look like?
I always do the border first.
Cool.
And then usually as I'm finding the border pieces, I might start seeing, especially if it's a collage piece, I'll start seeing, parts of it. Like I might grab those and put them in like little piles. But I usually try and get all of the border pieces first and assemble the border.
Okay, yeah.
And then I work just around whatever pops out at me. I am not like I sort and put things in big piles. I kind of just sift through, and whatever jumps out at me, and I look at the picture and I'm like, oh, I know what that is, and I know where it has to go. And so it's kind of like my process.
I can see that.
But I know other people like to sort colors and things like.
I'm a hardcore sorter when it comes to puzzles. That's where, my wife and I, Sarah, we differ because like we'll do puzzles together, and that's like my initial job with the puzzle. Like before she even touches the puzzle, like I'm sitting there and I'm just sorting it into like all these different things, and she's like, what are these categories? I don't know these categories. And I'm like, it makes sense up here, I promise. And then she's like, give me a tray, and I'm like, here's a tray, and then she'll start solving the puzzle, and then it'll all eventually come together. But I like sorting.
Yeah, I don't know if I could work with another person on a puzzle. we might not be friends anymore by the end of the puzzle. Yeah,
it takes some compromise. That's for sure.
I enjoy doing smaller puzzles with my nieces and nephews. They like puzzles, and they're very quick to put together a 24-piece puzzle. And then when I say, "Hey, I put together a Sesame Street puzzle for my nephew to put in his room," and he wanted it done in like 10 minutes and framed also. He's like, can we hang it up? When can we hang it up? When will it be done? I'm like, I just started, and you need to give me a few days here.
Oh, that's funny. Speaking of the shelf, down like the puzzle shelf, the puzzle swap in our library, one of the puzzles I found, and I know this is an audio medium, but if you guys want to look it up, have you guys ever heard of like the magic puzzles?
Is that like the Magic Eye book?
Not quite. Each of the magic puzzles, it's a company called like the Magic Puzzle Company, and each puzzle has its own little twist on like what it is as a puzzle. So sometimes you will have the picture on the box or the picture it gives you, and the puzzle itself will be slightly different, like from what is on the box. And like one of them that we did was, it was like essentially a before and after of what's happening. So it gives you like the setup to either a joke or like some sort of action, and then when you put the puzzle together, it shows you what happened after, essentially. So it's not exactly what's on the box, but it gives you a little story throughout. And I'll show you guys pictures of one of them that we did. So what this puzzle was, it was essentially like a Dungeons and Dragons puzzle where...
Oh, that's incredible.
It's this tavern, a bar with all these mystical creatures, and there's a whole scene going on. And when you finish the puzzle, like this, there's a secret envelope, and it says, don't open until you finish the puzzle. And you pull a gigantic piece of the puzzle out from the puzzle. And so it's like a giant triangle, like a bottom third of the puzzle. You pull the other piece out, and you swap these two giant pieces of puzzle, and it reveals like a little diamond in the center where you have to fill in with these extra pieces. And then what it reveals is, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it reveals something about the puzzle, like what was happening the whole time. And it's very clever, and it's really fun, and I would highly recommend the Magic Puzzle Company.
So now, was the cover like the initial puzzle that you put together?
Yes, exactly. So for this one, and they do a little different like twist or a different trick for each of their individual puzzles. They have like series of them, and they'll release like, 4 a year. And yeah, so the original puzzle that you see on the box is this one, and then you have no idea what this middle piece is going to be.
Okay, wait, zoom in again.
Yeah,
so
I got you.
This is one thing I don't enjoy, is when they have weird shaped jigsaw like puzzle pieces that are all like crazy. I just want to relax and put together this puzzle. I don't want it to be like a lot of work.
That's totally valid.
And sometimes you're just like, what are these shapes that you're giving me?
Have you ever done those like wooden puzzles that they're like kind of new now? Yes.
Those, yeah.
And they have very funky pieces on those. Yeah.
So mentioning those wooden puzzles, in the Puzzler book that I mentioned earlier, the hardest jigsaw puzzle in the world is a wooden puzzle, and they have a picture of it completed. It's like an octopus or something in like a ring, but the reason it's the most difficult jigsaw puzzle in the world is because it has 10,000 possible configurations, and only one of them is the correct configuration.
No, thank you.
That's like an exercise in insanity.
Yes.
I feel, yeah.
You told me about this before. Did you say no one's ever completed it?
I mean, somebody must have, because there's a photo of it, of what it's supposed to look like.
Maybe that's
finished.
just like when...
Maybe that was
they
before they cut it.
Yeah. Like, you'll never see this like this again. Take a picture.
But this person, it's like one guy, I'm assuming, who makes them, and in his workshop, and all of his puzzles go for like tens of thousands of dollars, and he's sold them to like presidents and like all kinds of stuff. They're really, really cool looking.
I don't think I would enjoy that. I do puzzles for all kinds. I want to relax and like kind of be a little bit mindless. I know it's something you have to focus on and do, but like I don't want it to be that hard. Like some people say, oh, 1,000-piece puzzle, I could never do that. That's too hard. For me, it's not if it's like a normal kind of picture. I wouldn't want to do an all white puzzle, like, or whatever.
Yeah.
The ones that's like, really difficult because of the coloring or the, if there's ones you can't see. I like looking at the picture and matching it. That makes it easier for me. I don't like doing games that have timers, like, or, oh, you only have a certain amount of moves and then you die. It's like, I just want to play this. Just let me play it in like indefinitely.
Just have a casual mode that just, or Zen mode.
So I have found puzzles like, that I like, shape, where you have to like shift the shapes around to get them like out of the square, where there's rules, but there's no time limit. There's unlimited amount of times you could start over. Yeah. There's no lives or anything like that. I'm like, that's what you can explode pieces if you need to, if you really can't figure it out. But I just want the pressure to be off, because this has been for me to relax and,
Yeah, I
totally agree with you.
If we're talking that specific type of game, I have written down here one of these video game puzzle games. Have you guys heard of it? It's called Unpacking.
I have heard of it. I've never played it. It visually looks very appealing from what I've seen.
Yeah, so the conceit of the game is like, you've moved into this new place. It's just like an overhead view of like, you start out with an apartment, and like level by level, like your place gets bigger, and you're essentially what you're doing is you have all these like cardboard boxes, like moving boxes in the game, and you just open them up, and there's no time, there's no scores, it's like unlimited, there's no lives, nothing of the sort. You're just taking things out and you're just organizing them in the room so everything has a spot, and once everything has a spot and you like it, you just move on to the next level.
Oh, I would love this.
Yeah, it's a great game. Unpacking.
I'll have
It's
to look
on
that up.
all platforms. It's on mobile, Nintendo Switch, all that jazz.
That's me clicking my pen to write it down. The one that I like to play that is like the shape movie, it's called Shape Escape. And there's a lot of variations of that game.
They look like they're wooden blocks, right?
This one is,
I'm sure
they're
there's
like
a lot
colorful,
of versions. Okay.
and they're like different, like kind of Tetris-y looking pieces. And there's one, I tried playing ones where it was like, it was timed. So this is like Shape Escape. There's no time limit. And it's a free game. Every once in a while you have to watch an ad for like 30 seconds. It's like, fine, whatever, a little break from playing. But yeah, it's the most mellow one like that I've found, and so I play that one.
I'm going to go back to Jigsaws for just a second.
By all means.
Because my next game is called Strange Jigsaws. It came out last year, 2025. It's by a solo developer named Fleb. And it is the most appropriately named game of all time because you are solving strange jigsaws. Emphasis on the strange. There's about 50 or so puzzles in the game. It's a computer game, by the way. And, I mean, some of them stretch the boundaries of what you would even consider a jigsaw puzzle, but that's like the core mechanic for all 50 of the puzzles. There's jigsaw elements involved. So, like, the game starts like any jigsaw puzzle. You're just a big messy pile of pieces and you have to figure out what's going on. So right when you start the game, it says you just get a very simple screen that says solve jigsaws, find golden pieces, open the door to the jigsaw verse. And when you start the game, you just see a whole mess of not visual nonsense, and you have to start rearranging them like it's a jigsaw puzzle to try to make sense of what you're even supposed to do in the game. And you'll eventually find out, okay, these are all like portals to different puzzles, right? And then there's a door with like these jigsaw-shaped holes that you have to fill with the golden jigsaw pieces, which you get for completing jigsaw puzzles to unlock the jigsaw verse, which basically just unlocks even further experimental jigsaw puzzles. So the artwork is very clean. It looks kind of like an IKEA catalog, like very nice and neat. But then as you progress, they get really weird and far out there. So let me give you a couple of examples of what I mean by strange jigsaws. Mm-hmm. So on one puzzle, you might find that there's gravity. So the pieces will just start falling down unless there are pieces underneath them. So you have to start building from the bottom up. Or maybe the pieces are magnetic. So they'll start snapping together in ways you didn't intend. Mm-hmm. And then you'll come to a puzzle that, and you'll start getting people barking orders at you for burgers. And you'll be like, what? And you'll realize all the pieces are ingredients to a burger. So you have to assemble the puzzle, but also match the order of the particular way they want their burger. Okay. Another one will be like a series of like CAPTCHA puzzles, like to prove that you're a human, but they're all jigsaw based. And then like another one, like you'll find out that the pieces are actually musical notes and you have to assemble like to match a song or something that's playing in the background. All sorts of stuff like this. So there's all like jigsaw is like the core puzzle design element, but they really stretch like what you can imagine a jigsaw puzzle to be like.
And so that's like the base of these puzzles, is that like they are jigsaw based puzzles, and then for the most part, like, or yeah, at least at the very beginning, and then so I'm sure they get a little more abstract as the game goes on.
You're never solving an entire jigsaw. Like there's not like 100-piece puzzle where you're like methodically finding the pieces or everything. It's always like, here's a puzzle that's missing a few pieces and you have to figure out what you have to do to solve it, basically, and kind of figure out the rules for this puzzle. Mm-hmm. And then some of them, like I mentioned a few of the examples already, some of them are really far out there.
Do they get progressively harder?
Harder? It's hard to say if they get harder or not, but you'll have to be more creative and more lateral thinking, I guess.
They get stranger.
Yeah, and then some of like the lighter puzzles like really stretch what you would consider even a jigsaw puzzle. Like they start bleeding into like other genres of games or mimicking or parodying other types of games, but when in fact you're actually still solving jigsaw puzzles. It's really weird. And then it also breaks, it's a very funny game. I will say that too. So Fleb, the developer, like breaks the fourth wall all the time, and he'll like just creep up in the game. Like he has like this like very stock photo of him. It's kind of like a Monty Python cartoon where he'll just kind of like bounce into screen and like say something funny. Or like you'll get like one puzzle or a whole series of puzzles would be like his notes for like making the game. And you'll have to like kind of like piece together his notes to like figure out like what he's trying to get at to solve puzzles. It's really, really funny. And sorry, just one more. Another puzzle you'll solve is like a drawing his daughter made of like this like island, and it's all like just a kid's drawing, and you have to like each part of the drawing is like its own separate puzzle, so to like zoom in on that part of the drawing and be like a little miniature puzzle within the puzzle.
That's really fun.
It's really, really fun.
What is this game on?
I played it on my Steam Deck, but it's on Steam. You can get it for any computer, but it probably would play on anything. So I don't know. It just came out, and it's gaining some momentum now. So we'll see if it gets ported to other things.
Yeah, they'll bring it. You said Strange Jigsaw?
Strange Jigsaws.
Steph,
Gotta write it down. Write that down. Strange.
He has another game called Strange Mazes, which is the same sort of thing, but they're all like mazes you have to navigate, which is free. And this one's only Strange Jigsaws is only $5. So, and I finished it in under 4 hours.
Okay.
So if you're smarter than me, you'll finish it even quicker, which is likely. So yeah, it's a nice, quick, fun game. It's fun to play with like a partner because, you know, it's just very like you just have to use your creativity to solve all of these. None of these are like intense logical puzzles or something you have to figure out. You have to be like some mathematical genius or anything. They're very much just like, oh, like once you get it, you laugh because it's
wacky.
Like, yeah, a lot of the solutions are like jokes. Right. So
Strange Jigsaw.
It's really, really fun. Check it out.
Sounds cool.
All right. Steph, are we back to you?
Yeah, I don't know. What should I talk about? I do enjoy doing, you know, if I need a little bit of like a mental cleanse, if I'm working a whole bunch, I'll play a round of Mahjongg Solitaire, which is tile matching. So that was one thing, a game that I didn't really consider a puzzle until I was looking things up. And but
it can be
tile matching games are considered puzzles, apparently.
Because like once you
have to solve
I'm not a Mahjong expert, but I feel like once you get towards like the later half of a Mahjong game, like you have to make strategic choices so you make sure you eliminate all the tiles, right? Like you can't lock yourself out of an ending.
Yeah. And sometimes that could happen like pretty early on because you know you can only access certain tiles on the board. They can't have anything blocking it in.
Right.
So
that counts.
Yeah, you can play for. You can get kicked out like pretty quickly. There's an easy one that they have on like Newsday.com now has one that you could play, and it's not easy. I have cleared it a couple times, but usually I'll get like at least halfway through, and it's also timed, so you can't play it. You know, it's like a 7-minute timer or something like that.
Yeah.
So you kind of just see how far you get, like how many tiles you have left, and.
When you say tile matching game, like I don't think I've ever played something of that.
So have you ever seen a set of Mahjong tiles? They have like characters on them.
Yes.
So it's almost like as if you were playing like matching with cards. You have like sets and suits and things.
Yes.
You can match a 2 to a 2 in the same suit.
Okay.
So and they're stacked. The traditional one is stacked like a pyramid.
Okay. Yes.
Kind of like that.
Yes. So you can only if something is on top of them.
Okay.
Those ones under it aren't free, so it has to be like on the edge, and not on like underneath stuff. So there's like layers on the edge that you can use, and so you have to try. If you can't clear that top one early on, you're like you get stuck for a while. You try and work your way in and down.
And so the goal of the game is to
completely clear it.
Okay.
All the matches. There's ones that you could play on the phone that have really cool layouts. They're called the way that they're designed. Then you could spin them around, and sometimes the free one is like hiding somewhere. I've played those too. But to me, it's like it's a good game if you're like waiting in like a waiting room for the doctor, because if you get interrupted, like it's like, oh, you just play as much as you can.
Yeah.
So to me, that's like a little quick fun thing. I won't necessarily play it for. It's not something I'll sit and play for an hour. It's something I'll play for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then just be like, oh, okay, get back to work.
Yeah,
a nice little mental break.
I think Mahjong was installed on like iMacs back in the day, because I remember it being like the Mac equivalent to the pinball thing that Windows had, Space Cadet or whatever it was called. Because I remember like that, like my mom playing it or something, or like it being there when I should be doing my homework. It was like, I could just do a little quick Mahjong.
So I remember like me and my friend used to sit and play like together on like their home PC. So I don't know if it was on the PC or if it was like, I don't think it was on the internet. It could have been on the internet, but I feel like the internet wasn't that sophisticated when I was younger.
Yeah.
So like
this is back, listeners, when we had we didn't have Wikipedia. We had actual CD-ROMs that had an encyclopedia.
Or in my case, books. I've lived through all 3 types of encyclopedia.
In that same exact vein, I had written down here with a question mark, Minesweeper. Did you guys ever play Minesweeper on the computer growing up?
Of course.
And I think that is to a degree a puzzle game.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid just thinking it was pure luck. You just kind of had to click and just pray that you weren't going to hit a mine.
No, there's a pattern to it. Like,
I don't know what these numbers are doing.
I think that would be considered maybe like a logic. Reasoning puzzle, because the numbers would be like,
It's
that's how many
definitely a
bombs
puzzle,
are around.
That's a.
It took me an embarrassingly long time before I realized what those numbers said.
Oh, same, 100%.
I never played that game growing up because I was like, this is just random nonsense.
Well, I don't think it came with any kind of instructions. It was like one of 2 games, like that or Solitaire. You could play on the computer.
They're like, it's Minesweeper, don't you know? And
just click it.
And then I like met somebody who would solve it every time, and I'm like, oh,
you can do that.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, good pull. I see you have Rebuses written down.
Yeah, so that's actually, we do a thing here at the library called Balance Breaks, where we have like it's almost like a little timeout on our breaks where we all get together, and sometimes it's a craft, sometimes it's a game or an exercise or something. And sometimes the game that we play are sheets of Rebus puzzles, and it takes me back to like when we'd have a substitute teacher in elementary school, because they would give us these sheets of the Rebus puzzles, and I love them so much, and I'm pretty good at them usually, but to me it's fun. It's like the Rebus puzzle is when it's like a bunch of
they're like pictures, and you have to
that
figure out what the
something.
saying is.
Yeah, so like instead of the letter B, you would have the picture of a bee, and then so you would know, so you would know that that's like a bee, whatever, like the next, like it would make a word or a saying,
and then it's somebody like wearing a piece of clothing, so it's like beware, like
yes, I do have some examples. Crossroads, the picture of a cross at a road intersection.
Awesome.
A cross at a crossroads.
Cross at a crossroads. A picture of a single one in a group of zeros. I don't like that one.
One in a million?
One in a million.
1 in a million.
Yeah.
I love Rebuses.
Yeah,
same.
To me, I think they're so fun.
So, do you remember during the pandemic, I made like 30 Rebuses that we posted on social media?
Yes.
So I did book-themed Rebuses where I took famous titles of books and made them into Rebuses, and we posted it. I wonder, I still have them somewhere.
You could dig it out of the archive.
I
love
will
to try.
That would be a fun balance break. I got to remember that. I might cut all of this, but if I can't find it, I'll cut all this out. But if I do find it, I'll post it on our website somewhere.
We just keep scrolling back into the.
Yeah, it's got to be there somewhere
on our timeline,
unless it was a story. I know I have them because I did them I drew them all at home, so I still have the originals. Anyways, I love Rebuses. Another thing about Rebuses, I don't know if they have this here, but Narragansett beer. I'm from Rhode Island, where Narragansett is from. Okay. And their coasters that every restaurant in Rhode Island basically has their coasters, all have Rebuses on them.
Oh, that's
and
clever.
They are prolific in how I don't know where they're sourcing these Rebuses from, but I never saw the same one twice. They must make
one person that works for them. That's a
they must have put out hundreds a year. I'm not kidding. Like they must have thousands of them at this point. And they're all great. So you'd like go to a restaurant or a bar or something, and you'd see a Narragansett coaster, flip it over, and you got a Rebus. It was like a fun like talking point, and it was genius marketing.
That must
Something to do at the bar.
That must be like such a cool job for whoever's job it is to just make Rebus puzzles for Narragansett brewing coasters.
Yeah.
It's like
Narragansett Brewing has the best marketing to worst tasting beverage in the history of mankind.
That's how they hook you. I gotta get that coaster.
I guess so. Oh boy, yeah, Rebuses are great. I gotta find those old ones. All right. Who's next? Evan,
I'll go.
You wanna go?
So where do you guys land on crossword puzzles?
I like the idea of crossword puzzles more than I like actually playing them.
Okay.
I always sign, like I have the New York Times one and the Newsday one I used to do every day, but I just can't keep up with it because it doesn't play to my strengths. I have a terrible memory, so It's just like I just feel so dumb when I do them because it's like asking me stuff I like used to know, and I'm like, and I just hate that feeling.
The New York Times ones are traditionally like pretty difficult, and they get progressively harder during the week. Same for Newsday. I do the Newsday one sometimes also when I need a little break when I'm working. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I could like
I'll cut
fly
that out of the
through.
episode too.
So so I like the ones that I don't get stuck on. Yes. Like I'm just doing this as like a brain break. So I usually don't do the ones like later on in the week. I'll just do the super easy ones, and I'll challenge myself to like see how fast I could get it done because they're usually timed.
So personally, the crossword puzzles, love them. Top tier, one of my favorite puzzles. And like speaking to what you guys are saying about sometimes it's like, what is this? I just don't know. Like I can't solve it. Like have you guys heard of crosswordese?
No.
So that is when crafting a crossword puzzle, you will sometimes write yourself into like a corner and you just kind of have to pull something out of nowhere to make it make sense, because you're like, you start with these big clues across the center, and those are like your anchor theming clues, and you kind of build around those clues. And in order to make it work, you need some ridiculous things to be able to make it work. And oftentimes it's things like words with a lot of vowels or things you would never think of. But the more crossword puzzles you do, you're like, oh, yeah, I know exactly what it is. I pulled up a list here. Some of them that you see all the time, like the word air, E-R-E. Mm-hmm. It's just nothing that you use like in day-to-day language, but it's like you open a crossword puzzle, that is gonna be in there. Somebody said,
well, I know like they'll use epi,
yes,
like the how do you pronounce it?
Epi? The fencing
sword.
Yeah.
Epi, like E-P-E-E, because it's just like
you just need
that's a lot of E's. That's so.
I didn't realize there was a name for that.
Yeah, the crosswordese of it all.
That's funny.
And so Sarah and I, we got really into crossword puzzles, especially when we first got together. It was during COVID, and so that time we were like, what are you doing for this time? And then we started learning how to craft crossword puzzles. Like we started building them, and not easy. But the more you do it, the easier it gets. And this is going to get a little cheesy, but if we're talking puzzles, we're talking crossword puzzles, that's how I proposed to Sarah. So wow. I crafted a crossword, I know, but I crafted a crossword puzzle with like all of the clues going across the top, like throughout the puzzle. Those are like the revealing clues. It was like William Taft was the top one, and the first word like Will, and then YouTube was the middle one, you, and then so on and so forth. The last one was me, which was I ended up doing mesothelioma because I had nothing else to throw in there.
So romantic.
Yeah. Will you marry mesothelioma? And she said yes, which was good.
She didn't say ear.
Was she like, are you okay?
If you were a loved one.
I could see you like helping her with the puzzle and getting like really mad. Just like, it's mesothelioma.
You don't remember those commercials? But crossword puzzles would recommend. And like you said, it's like if you wanted to start doing crossword puzzles, the New York Times Monday is the absolute best place to start. It's the easiest puzzle of the week.
You know what one you might like TV Guide. TV Guide's always, I don't even know if they make do they still physically make a TV. They always had a puzzle in the back, and it's all like TV film.
Well, so Christina, who works in adult, she has purchased a crossword book that's like pop culture, like easier things that are around a theme. So I feel like if they made like a movie one, I'd be right up my alley. Or a video game one, boom,
right in there.
done. Yeah. But I do think like as you start doing it and get in a rhythm and learn the crosswordese,
yes,
it does sort of reinforce itself a little bit. So maybe I'll give it another shot.
Go for it. Why not?
Yeah. Awesome. Crossword puzzles are another classic. It's like Jigsaw and then crossword.
Yep.
Okay, my turn. This next one I'm going to mention, I didn't know still existed. It's another video game. It's called Hexic HD. Hexic. So I played this back in 2005 a lot. So if you remember like the game Balatro that came out last year and how it just kind of sucked the life out of everyone who engaged with it, this was my Balatro back in the day. So this game was one of, if not the first downloadable games I ever played, because it was one of the first ever. And the reason for that is it was bundled with the Xbox 360. So if you bought the Xbox 360 console that came with a separate hard drive, it was pre-installed on that hard drive, and part of that bundle like explained to you how you can access the internet to download games, like Xbox Live Arcade they called it. It was this new thing.
Yeah.
So this was the first like arcade, like downloadable game I ever played, and it's a puzzle game that is actually, I found out just recently, was actually designed by the same creator of Tetris. So he apparently worked for Microsoft at the time, and they said, hey, we need a new game to sell this platform, and he came up with this game, Hexic. So the concept of the game is you're looking at like a field of hexagon shapes. So it's like kind of looks like a honeycomb sort of pattern.
Gotcha.
And each of the hexagons is a different color. So it's all randomly placed. And the objective of the game is you want to make matches of 3 at least or more of a color to eliminate them, and you get points and so far and so forth. So you do this by selecting one hexagon, and then you can rotate a cluster of 3 of them, right? Do you know what I'm kind of get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's like the basic premise. So as you're eliminating blocks, like new ones falling from the top, and it's kind of always going. And eventually, as you progress, bombs will start to fall in that are a certain color, and you have to eliminate the bombs in a certain number of turns. And it's just about getting a high score. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the twist.
Okay.
So if you can create a ring of 6 of the same color, the center hexagon in that ring will turn into a diamond.
Okay.
Now, if you make a ring of 6 diamonds, you'll get an emerald. And if you create a ring of 6 emeralds, you win the game. So there is an end point.
You can solve, you can beat a level.
You can technically finish the game. I've never done this.
Really?
Very few people have, according to the achievements listing on Xbox. The closest I've got is 3 emeralds.
Okay. So
now,
it's about halfway through, right?
Yeah. The trickiest part about it, other than surviving the bombs long enough to do all of this, is not eliminating your diamonds and emeralds by making a cluster of 3 of them.
Okay.
And then I've done that, and you're just like, that's the most defeating feeling when you've been working on this puzzle for 40 minutes and you just eliminate all of your progress.
Now, did this have that sort of, the term is Tetris effect on you when you were playing in this time, where you would close your eyes at night and you would just kind of
still rotating hexagons.
Yeah, in your mind?
I don't think I did. I have experienced the Tetris effect.
It's a weird
very
phenomenon,
weird
right? Yeah.
Does this game have catchy music?
It does. It has a nice techno-y sort of loop that I probably have been humming to myself since 2005 and not even realized it. So I thought this game was abandoned because it was never ported to any other systems. I never heard of it since the Xbox 360 era. But I just found out there is a mobile version called Hexfall.
Okay.
Hexfall, all one word. So I downloaded it. I'm like, let's see if this game still has it. hours pass. It was the worst mistake I've ever made. I already have like 11 of the 16 achievements. It's like, it's really bad.
Wife and kids are like, Alex, where are you?
Where's dinner, Daddy?
Hexic first.
And Alex is like, what time is it?
It's so bad. Like I had to uninstall it. It's just just as addicting.
But now you'll never get all the emeralds.
You're right.
If you
I'm
give
reinstalling
up.
it right now.
Can't give up.
I love that it was bundled with the Xbox 360. Like it sounds like you were the target audience for this.
Absolutely, I was.
But I love like the majority of like kids who got an Xbox 360 were probably like, what is this? Yeah, what's going on? Yeah.
It has a
Where's
cult.
Halo?
It has a cult following. Like if
Okay.
you look it up, people are like, "Do you remember Hexic HD? Like, why do I have this game? Like, because it was free. You had it. It was like probably the first game you played on your new system when you were a
Yes,
kid."
Christmas morning. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of people's first Xbox achievement because the achievement system started with the Xbox 360, and that was because that was a pre-installed first game a lot of people played.
Just opened it up.
They just opened it up, got an achievement, so that's a lot of people's first achievement. It's probably mine.
Fun fact.
So Hexic HD or Hexfall if you want to play it today. There are lots of clones out there, and I checked out a few of them, but Hexfall is the best one.
Okay.
That's most closely mimics the original game. And man, just prepare yourself to lose hours of your life. It's so good. Yeah,
Good stuff.
Hexfall.
In the same vein, Tetris, that was the first video game I ever played. It was on the original Game Boy, and it was my uncle's Game Boy, and he gave it to me, and I was like probably like 4 or 5 years old, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on right now. Yeah. But time goes on, and Tetris, a lot of fun. Did you ever play Tetris 99?
Did? I don't remember. Is that where you're competing with like 99 other people?
Yeah, so it was like the battle royale version of Tetris where like you clear lines and then you send them to other people and it shows up. I had a lot of fun playing it. I would lock in, yeah.
How do you feel about Dr. Mario?
Dr. Mario, I never really played Dr. Mario.
I love
Same.
Dr. Mario.
Really?
Yeah.
It seemed like it would have been perfect for me, but I never...
Both should I mean, you still can try it. I probably have a Game Boy I can bring in. Or an NES.
Play it on the
You don't have it on
LG.
like your...
I'm sure it's on every...
On like the
fun.
Switch.
Yeah.
I should get around to it. Whenever I think of Dr. Mario, I think of like my one buddy who only plays Dr. Mario in Super Smash Brothers, and all he does is just throw the pills at you, and it just annoys me to no end.
No, you would like it. If you like Tetris, you would like it.
I think we probably would.
You know Yoshi had a puzzle game too? It's called Yoshi's Cookie or something like that.
I did not know that.
It's a weird
No, I
puzzle
didn't know
game.
either.
It's sort of like a match 3 game, but like there's like tiles coming at you from all 4 sides of the screen, and you have to like throw the cookies out to. It's really weird, but yeah, Yoshi. I think it's Yoshi's Cookie.
I love
I could
that.
be wrong.
It just sounds
Something like that.
Doesn't roll off the tongue.
No, it doesn't. It didn't catch
not
on.
Clicking.
That one you will not find on modern systems.
Yoshi's Cookie. Nowhere to be
Abandoned.
found. Only Alex's dreams.
But Tetris, yeah, I had it on the original Game Boy. That was my first system. I think I had like 3 games, and that was one of them. I had like Mario Land, Tetris, and I think golf. It was just golf. It was just
The game.
It wasn't
Golf.
like not Tiger Woods golf like '98. It was just golf. And I think I had baseball too. It was just baseball. But yeah, I played Tetris a lot on the Game Boy, but I played it even more on my Sprint flip phone.
Wow.
And that was when I played it competitively with my friend Robert. Shout out to Robert.
Wow,
He's
how
not
do you not have like carpal tunnel problems?
I probably do.
today?
It probably set me up for years of pain down the line.
That's tiny, like little.
Yeah, it's my Sprint flip phone. I remember it well. But that is the game that I had the Tetris effect. I would be dreaming of the blocks falling. And
Was it in black and white?
No, it was color. It was. I did have a black and white Nokia. That was my first phone, but this was
Play
a.
Snake.
Yep, that's where you play.
Yep.
Yep.
I would say that's not a puzzle game.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, but Tetris is an all-timer and an all-time soundtrack.
I will sometimes just put that song on, like just while I'm driving.
All right. So I have one more to talk about. Back over a year ago, we did an episode on indie games, our favorite indie games of all time. And I talked about a game named Braid. Have you ever played Braid?
I've heard of it.
It's a puzzle 2D platformer game where the basic gimmick is you can manipulate time. So it's anyways, I talked about it enough on that episode. So go back to that episode and check it out if you haven't already. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
Okay.
So that game was made by a solo developer named Jonathan Blow. He's considered like the pretentious like art gamer sort of.
Okay.
He's the prototypical like high-minded whatever. Yes. Artsy video game designer. So Braid came out in around 2008, I want to say, and then he took 8 years off to make his next game called The Witness. Now, The Witness is one of the most ambitious puzzle games I've ever played, and I've had it installed on various systems basically since it came out, and I've still to this day not finished it because it is so difficult.
The infinite jest of video games.
Yeah, I guess so in a lot of ways. Yes, it's very pretentious and only been consumed by really snotty 20-year-old men.
And it just never gets finished. It just sits on the video game shelf, yeah.
But unlike, I have finished Infinite Jest because really? I am one of those pretentious people. But this game, I was just playing it last night, and I made a little bit of progress, but then I hit another wall. And it's just one of those games where I'm just always chipping away at. So here's the premise of the game. Yeah. You wake up on this island, right? You're a mute, unknown character. You're looking out of his eyes, so it's a first-person perspective game. And around this island are a bunch of crumbling ruins of buildings, but there's also some like high-tech buildings as well. It's like a really weird sort of island. And it's flush with this vibrant foliage as well. So there's a little bit of everything going on in this island. And it's kind of broken up oddly where there's like 13 or 15 or so regions on the island that you can all fully explore right from the get-go. Nothing's locked away. So there'll be like a swamp area. There'll be like a Zen garden area. There will be like a mountain in one part of the island, and like a half-sunken ship like off the coast in another area, et cetera, et cetera. So as you explore these areas, you'll find there are these little like kind of like signposts almost. They look like they're these little tablets that are basically dotted all around the island. And on them is just a simple grid pattern, right? Might be like a 4x4 boxes, or some of them are smaller, some are bigger. And it's the same puzzle throughout the entire island, but there's just hundreds of variations on the same puzzle. And the idea is you have to get from some point on the grid to another point on the grid and satisfy some rule of that particular puzzle. So like for instance, there might be like the tiles might be different colors, and you'll have to like draw your line, like trace your line through the grid that separates the colors before you get to the other edge of the maze, okay. Right? Yeah. Or another one might have like Tetris shaped figures in the thing, and you realize like you have to make your line to match those shapes, and it gets so much more complex from there as they start to like combine different elements and things like that, and it just gets wild.
Now, does it tell you what you need to do, or do you just kind of have to figure out what the point of the puzzle is?
No, so that's part of the design philosophy of the game. There's no dialogue whatsoever. You don't interact with anybody. There's no tutorial. They don't tell you anything. There's no signs to read. There's no journals, nothing.
They just kind of exist.
They just drop you in.
Throw you on the island.
Exactly.
Figure it out. Solve these puzzles.
So basically Jonathan Blow's whole like philosophy with this game is he wanted to like see how far you could tell a story without anybody expressing anything to you, and he wanted to really like focus on like that epiphany moment that I was talking about earlier. So and he does a great job. So like each of these regions introduces like a different twist on that sort of element, right? You know, some regions are more difficult than others because they start to compile like multiple different rule sets from all these different areas. Some of the twists on the puzzle are not like within the puzzle themselves. So some of them have to do with like the environment around you. So for instance, there's one area where you're in this like shaded forest area, right? And the sun passing through the leaves is casting shadows on all of the puzzles. And you start to find out like, I can't have my line cross a shadow on the puzzle.
Goodness.
And it's pretty wild. Like, again, you have to think very creatively to solve some of these. Or like the angle that you're looking at the tablet might reveal, a hint to how to solve that puzzle or something. So there's like all these, there's over 600 puzzles in the game, like of these tablets. So that's how much he spent 8 years on designing all these things. It's a really, really incredible feat.
Yeah. And when did this come out?
It came out in 2012.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, 2016.
2016.
Yeah.
And you have played it on and off since then?
Yes. And I think I've finished about 7 of the 12 regions. And whenever you finish a region completely, there's like a mysterious box in each of the regions, and the box opens up and a robot, some kind of like machine comes out and shoots a laser at the mountain.
Okay.
At this central, like all of them point at this exact same location. So I don't know what happens when I solve all the regions,
blow up the mountain, perhaps.
I don't know. I haven't gotten
Simply
that far.
must be stuff.
Or maybe it creates some kind of like portal where you then get to like teleport off the mountain.
It's such an intriguing game that I've been coming back to it for years.
But Googled it just for a spoiler. What happens when you? Because I'd be like, I need to know.
Well, there is no like story really. Like it's more like a vibe, right? So I don't want to I can't like Google a vibe.
You could totally Google a vibe.
Pushing the limits of what we can Google here between the shelves.
Someone else must have had this vibe that has gotten to the end.
But I don't know. I feel like that's cheating. I want to get there by myself.
And what's the game called?
The Witness.
The Witness. Okay.
So yeah, if you're like a avid puzzler person, I would say give this game a shot.
Okay. Because
it's going to challenge you in ways that maybe other puzzles haven't if you're looking for a challenge. And it's also just a beautiful game. Like it's just gorgeous. Like he hired Jonathan. I was reading like development stories and stuff in this game. He hired like architects to like help him make sure that like all the buildings and everything are like structurally make sense and are just beautiful. Like there's all these different time periods too. Like so like one area might look like Roman architecture and another might be like more modern, and it's really, really well done, and everything's just kind of like overgrown, and it's just stunning. It's a really phenomenal game.
Back to the ending.
Yeah.
What happens? What happens if you solve it and then the ending is very underwhelming, and then you're like, well, I wish I Googled that.
Well, it's about the journey, I guess. I don't know.
It's the climb. Yeah.
Now I just want to know how it ends. I'm like, give me the spoilers.
You Google the end of The Witness and tell me how.
I won't tell you. I'll just.
Well, just tell me if it's worth it or not.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, but I definitely recommend checking it out. And it's a perfect puzzle game because it's one puzzle but done 600 plus different ways. So it's not like you have to it's a kind of like a Zen game in that way too, where you walk into a new area and you see the thing and you know exactly what you have to do, sort of, but you just need to figure out what the twist is that time. Mm-hmm. And because it's like an open world game, if you get stuck in an area, you can just abandon it and walk away and go find another part of the island to go solve stuff. And
I do like that.
Yeah.
Where you're just kind of free to roam the game.
Yeah. So, yeah.
What do you play that on?
I'm playing it on my Steam Deck, but it's on PC, it's on PlayStation, it's on Xbox, it's on everything at this point.
Awesome.
Check it out. The Witness. That was my last one.
I wrote it down.
Cool.
Do we have any more? All right. I think, let me look at my notes here.
Pretty much every single thing I had on mine.
Yeah, so, there was, other types of puzzles, that we didn't really talk about. Like, physical escape rooms, that's considered a puzzle. There's logic ones, there's number one, Sudoku, that some people love and some people hate. Yep. I could only do really easy ones. I don't want to have to think that hard when I'm playing puzzles.
If you ask Sarah, my wife, what her favorite video game is, she will say Sudoku because she plays it on her phone. That's my favorite video game.
I have to do it on paper because I have to make notations.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's actually you brought up a good point. So the crosswords, I will do them on the phone 100 times before I do one on paper because I'd like the clean, delete, replace, sort of thing. And the apps are remarkably good. Like the Newsday one and the New York Times, they make it so quick where
you can
faster
fly through
than
it.
In person. Yeah.
And I don't know about New York Times, but Newsday you can check the puzzle without it giving you the answer.
Check
You
individual
could just
letters.
do check. So like, you know, every once in a while I'll solve it. I'll be like, yes, I'm done. And then it's like, whoops, you made a mistake. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to look through the whole. And it's usually just like a typo because sometimes when you type,
Yes.
you're typing all the letters, but one letter is already there.
Yeah.
So I use that check feature a lot just to find like the one letter that's a little off. But
When we were super into them, like that was our goal, to like see how far into the week we could get without checking the puzzle and still completing it. We got up to about Wednesday. We were able to solve Wednesdays without checking, but it would drive us cuckoo bananas.
Yeah.
Like looking through that puzzle. I don't know what's wrong.
that's what I was like. I don't want to do it and get like agitated while I'm doing it.
You know, that's
I
a
just
really
wanna do
good
it for
point.
fun.
This is supposed to be helping my mental health.
So, yes, exactly. And then I don't know what other ones do we talk about, like physical object puzzles, disentanglement. Like sometimes those are fun. Like you just have like one on your coffee table or something. Can you get the
Like those little tchotchke ones.
Can you get the key out of the box or something? My brother bought one. He's like, oh, I got this awesome one. It was like kind of like a cylinder with a key in the top. It was wooden. And he was like, oh, see if you could do it. It took so-and-so like 10 minutes or whatever. And I'm just like, and I did it in like 30 seconds. He was just like, what? I'm like, this was pretty easy. Like you literally just had to like turn this wooden key to fit the pegs in the holes. But then if you have some of those ones where it's like loops and locks and
Yes.
some of them are just impossible.
I've never been able to do any of those.
They're fun to try.
Yeah.
One of the smartest gifts I ever received from the giver, at the time I hated it, was this puzzle box that was completely transparent. It was made with like clear, transparent plastic. And inside of it, you could see must have been like a $20 bill or something. It was like my gift on Christmas. But you had to unlock the puzzle box to get to it. So that bill is just taunting you. I was probably like 10 years old.
Oh my, yeah.
And it took me at least an hour, probably 2 hours to solve it. But man, was I determined.
That's
And
so clever.
I'm thinking about it now as a parent. I'm like, that's genius. The kids were just so distracted, not getting into trouble for 2 solid hours. And it would only cost $20.
The reward is so tangible and so like pie in this. You're $20.
Yeah, if it wasn't transparent, I would have been like, whatever. Or
Yes.
like, who knows what's in there? But yeah, it was just taunting you. You're like, $20. Oh, that's a
I'm
genius.
glad you were able to solve it and get the money.
Yeah.
They were just smashing.
This is technically, this might be slander, but I'm pretty sure my brother just smashed it to pieces.
Because not everybody would be able to solve it. You know, not everyone's good at those kinds of puzzles.
My brother is a brute. He's twice my size, so he could have just crushed it in his hand. We got the money. Okay, so I think we've covered puzzles.
I think so.
Happy Puzzle Day to everyone.
Happy Puzzle Day.
I hope you pick up one of these recommendations that we mentioned in this episode. And if not, come to the library. We have the Jigsaw Puzzle Exchange. We have
subscriptions to magazines that have puzzles in them.
Yep, we do the
have
New York
books.
Times crossword with photocopy for you, and we have tons of books in the 700 sections. I checked them out today. Lots of little mind puzzle games you can play right there.
Lots of video games with puzzles
Oh,
involved.
yeah, of course. Blueprints.
Yes.
One of our games of the year last year we talked about in the best ofs. We have it for PlayStation. Physical copy now.
Top tier puzzle game. Would recommend.
Absolutely. All right, I think we've done it. Steph, Evan, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having
pleasure.
us.
Yeah, we'll have you back on again.
Happy puzzling.
Happy puzzling, everyone. Until next time, we'll catch you between the shelves.